Okay, guys. So what's going on right now? Do we have is the presentation stopped and they have started it again,
Yes.
or I can still see the live on the Facebook and still recording?
Yeah. They started for new now.
They started the new one. All right. Okay. Well done, guys, for your presentation. It was awesome. You did very well. It was incredible because I haven't been watching presentations lately because I've been doing quite a lot of, paper paperwork in the background. But I'm happy to be able to finally do some sort of training webinar with you guys. You do set an energy in the room, so well done to you. But yeah, I'm really happy to be here with you and run through the financial basic training, which I think is the first steps into the journey of the financial literacy, the first baby steps which we have to understand, and we need to learn and practice in order to start rolling that little snowball, which we want to make it bigger and bigger and bigger, which would be our wealth, right? But we need to start from somewhere. We need to get our our mindset in the right place, and we need to we need to understand where to start, because what you are describing, what Mo described at the beginning of the first part of the presentation, is very important, because the financial literacy all around the world is very, very, very low. When S&P did the research back in 2018, which Mo was presenting to you, and when I came across this research, I wasn't kind of surprised, but it opened my mind even more to realize how big mission do we have, how big, how big, such a big problem we are trying to solve here. What we are trying to do here, guys, is to improve, the financial literacy all around the world, to make sure that the money distribution among the four categories, or the groups of people that Mo described to you in the cash flow quadrant, would have an equal right, would have an equal money earning potentials, and we all would be able to live more or less, good life. And why not, right? What stops us, or what makes us different from other people? What stops us is ourselves, okay? Our thinking and our mindset. So we need to start with ourselves, and we need to learn the things that we never learned or knew before, but we have to be ready for it. Those successful people and success stories that was shared by Mo, and then shared by Elena, are real examples, real proofs that once you make a decision that enough is enough, and you're ready to take the next step, and you're ready to get out of your comfort zone, imagined comfort zone, then miracles are happening. And we all know that, I hope you know, that the magic is within us. The magic is within us, and we are the magicians, and we can create the magic every day, every minute. It's just up to us if we're going to take that invisible magic stick, and we're going to start creating our dream life, because you got what it takes, to be, and to have what you dream about. So shortly about me, Annette Martinson, originally from Latvia, and I am in Latvia. I didn't move, but I came here in February, and obviously because of the situation in the world, I'm still here. And to be honest, I'm still happy. I'm still enjoying the life, and I'm still, moving forward, growing, expanding, and doing my business. Why? Because what we're doing here is incredible. It's a global business, and you can work from any part of the world as long as there is internet and your computer. And obviously, it would be great to have your phone. But it hasn't been like this all the time. In 2016, well, I lived in London for 10 years, and in 2016, I lost my job. Okay, and I was working a normal a normal company, global company, as a sales manager, 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, all the standard job kind of position. And I was earning good money, and I thought I have okay life, till the moment that one day, like a magic stick, my job disappeared because I got fired. And that was the day when I decided to to accept the challenge that life has thrown at me. Instead of running away from the problem, I was running through, those challenges, running through those problems, because I knew that that's the sign from the universe. And if we are able to see those signs, that we are able to grab them and do something with those things that the universe is throwing at us. And I would say that was my best decision. That was their best decision, what they did, firing me from the job to push me out of my comfort zone. And right now, by facing, the tears and sweat, I have managed to be where I am today, and I'm living a happy life. But that's not the end of my journey. I'm still going. And where did it start, guys? Obviously it started with the Academy of Private Investor, where I realized in 2016, I realized that I have missing information. I have a missing key, to unlock my doors to my success. And I didn't know what is the success at that time. I thought success is to have a job 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. But that was wrong impression. That was the illusion that I was given by the people, by society around me. What I realized afterwards, the success is the freedom. Success is a money freedom, time freedom, is the opportunity to be where you want to be with who you want to be, and do what you love and love what you do, right? But for that, we need to understand how we can, protect the fruit of our work, which is our money, to make sure we keep it, we protect it, and we multiply it. And that was my mistake. And I realized that I have to, to open up my mind, and I have to open up my ears, not just to listen, but actually to hear what the successful people wants to tell me. Because sometimes we are just listening, but we are not hearing. I want you guys to hear, what either me today or our company's top leaders and the CEO Andre Havrato is sharing with us, because that's very, very important. And the most important is to take the things into practice, okay? Because by just reading the books, you can read hundreds of books, but if you're not putting these things into practice, then it's just reading the book, like I don't know, a novel, right? Or a romantic book. But I want you to take the note. If you haven't heard about 8 rules of private investor before, then take the note, try to remember them, try to understand them, and then try to share with other people by sharing what you just learned, okay? And it's going to stuck in your subconscious mind, and that's how you're going to start re-recording your thinking and your understanding about the money and about about many things around, many things that happens around you. Okay, so we're going to go through the financial flow, 8 rules of private investor, financial plan, capitalization secrets, what to do in the next 3 months, in order to live your dream life, your actions, because actions speak louder than words, right? And your next steps. So what do we need to know or learn? Why do we need to learn the financial literacy? Because I have realized that, a lot of people tells me, why do I have to learn this Academy of Private Investor? Why do I need this education? I have such a good job position. I'm earning so much money. I'm driving the best car. I'm living in the middle of the it's central of London. Okay, that was before pandemic. What happened now? A lot of people have lost a lot of money. They have lost their cars, their houses, and everything. Why? Because it wasn't important how much money they earn or they earned before, but it's like the question you need to ask is like, do you have sufficient or do you have enough financial knowledge to save and multiply your hard-earned money? I was earning good money, and I'm sure, guys, some of you or people who used to earn a lot of money and they have lost it, or they lost the job, or they are not able to go back to work, and suddenly they have to sacrifice, well, not sacrifice, they have to let go of some some toys maybe sometimes or the things that was kind of close to you, you have to let it go, you have to sell it in order to keep living. Okay, so this is what you need to ask yourself, and that's what I've been asked when I lost my job. Do you have sufficient knowledge? Do you have sufficient information and experience in order to get from where you are to where you want to be? And I want you to draw 2 islands. I don't know if you heard about this exercise, but drew 2 islands. One island on which you are living right now, and the island on which you would love to live. And imagine that there is the water in the middle with the sharks, okay? Because there are a lot of sharks around us. And now figure out, what do you need to do to get to another island? The easiest way would be to swim, but there are sharks, so you might be eaten. And we don't want to be eaten, so we need to build a bridge or the boat. For either way, we need to have the knowledge. We need to have people who can help us to teach us how to build either bridge or the boat. And we need to have tools, right? We need tools to build that. So ask yourself, do you have enough tools, knowledge, experience to build that bridge on your own? If you might have, but would you have enough power and energy to do it on your own, right? I realized that I don't have the tools, I don't have the knowledge, and I need someone who will help me, because the person who was on the other side of the island or on the other island had all of that. And I wanted to learn from them. I wanted to get the information and the knowledge from those successful people. I wanted to put myself in the room where I'm not going to be the smartest one, because the room in which you are the smartest one is the wrong room. Okay. So we need to figure out what is it that is missing in your life right now to get where you want to be or to become who you want to be. Because the moment we have enough knowledge of how to manage our own money, we are taking control of our own life. Okay. Otherwise, government and, companies, CEOs are taking control of your life and of your money. And the first thing we need to understand that there are 3 financial flows, and try to recognize in which financial flow you are right now. And please put the plus if you're still following me, okay? So I know that you are still with me, guys. I'm gonna try not to go very deep because these are my favorite topics, but I don't wanna stay here till the late. Are you with me? Okay, perfect. I can see some pluses. No, yeah, okay, cool. So the 3 financial flows, and I've been in all of them, guys. I have gone through all of them. So the first financial flow is the financial flow of the pool. What it means? So it means that you're earning the money and you're spending the money. You're earning the money and you're spending the money. In this financial flow of pool, I was when I moved to London in 2009. I had a very minimum salary. And when I was trying to apply for the credit card in the bank, all those banks obviously declined my requests because they counted my money. Obviously, they can see how much money I was earning, and they could not understand how I'm thinking to pay back the credit card if I'm barely paying for my rent, barely paying for my bills, barely probably having money for the food. But that's the reason why I was going to the bank to get the money that is not mine. So obviously they didn't give me the credit card. So I kept working and spending the amount of money I had. So I had very little left. But at the same time, I now, by looking back, I know I could do something more in order to have more money, not going straight to the bank, but I could potentially probably control my money a little bit more than I was. Okay, but we're gonna go to the rules of 8 rules of right investor, and you will understand what I'm talking about. But what happened later on? So later on, I'm earning a little bit more money. I'm finding a better job, or I'm making more hours, and I'm working more hours. So therefore, I start earning more money. So eventually, I get to the financial flow of the middle class. Middle class people sometimes looks actually rich, or they are presumed to be wealthy. Why? Because they might live in a good flat or the house, or they bought a house. They may bought or driving with the latest car or quite new car. They might have nice watch, clothes, or bags. Girls walking with the bags of Gucci Mucci, and so they look quite and boys in a suit. Whatever you picturing the person, right? And sometimes we are presuming that they have they have good job. They must most likely have good job, and they are earning quite good money. But what happens if you lose your job that is paying for all those good things? What happened to me? So when I start earning more money, the banks, those ones that declined my request to have credit cards, start sending me offers of those credit cards, because they start seeing that probably they were following me, that I started earning more money. So now they are telling me, okay, now we are ready to give you this credit card. And obviously I am taking this credit card, right? And what I'm doing, I'm spending the money I'm earning, plus I'm spending the money that the bank was giving to me, which is not my money, but I have to give back my money and plus. Okay. And then what happens, like in 2014, my dad passed away and he had to pay the mortgage, and obviously he didn't have insurance. That's another story. So suddenly everything comes to us, are you going to pay for the mortgage? And we could easily lose all of that, because my dad had only one income stream. He didn't have an insurance, and we could lose the house. We could lose our own home. But I was taking, the responsibility, and I said, I'm gonna pay for this mortgage. So then what happens? I have to work more. So now I have to work more to pay out the credit card and to pay out the mortgage. But I have still one income stream. And what happens 2016? I lose my job. So I have lost everything, but I still have all those bills to pay. All those bills and responsibilities that no one let go. No one told me that, okay, find a job and then you can continue to pay all those expenses. No, that doesn't happen. Maybe in some dream world, guys, but it doesn't happen. And suddenly, you are put in this position that you have only credit card, which is already half empty, and it's not unlimited. And you realize that with this credit card, you can still kind of feed yourself and help not to lose your house in Latvia and somehow keep living in London. And that was the time, guys, when I had to make a decision. Either I'm going to go and keep finding a job that is going to pay my bills, or I'm going to stop doing what I've been doing, and I will learn to do the things that will never put me in the same position anymore. And what happened at that time, as I said, I start following people who are not in the same position. I start following people who are not employees anymore. I start following people who are business people who has the financial knowledge. And those people are the ones that doesn't have to be millionaires, but they understand the money game. They understand how the money can work for you, how they can protect the money, and how you can multiply your money. And that's when in 2016, without being rich, I got into the financial flow of the rich class or the wealthy class. But it doesn't mean that I had millions or have millions in my account. It means that my mindset thinks the way the rich people think. Okay, I manage my money the way rich people manage. I know where money I spend. I know how the money can grow. I know how to protect my money, and I know how to create more and more assets. I'm still learning. I'm not saying I'm a professional investor, guys, but I have that thinking, and it took time. But you have to make a decision that you don't want to be in a position like I was, or maybe someone is in this kind of position, because you don't want to wait for that moment. That's not a pleasant moment at all, right? So you need to think, do you have enough knowledge now to get from whichever financial flow you are, poor or the middle class, and get into the rich class? If you don't, then you have to be in this Academy of Private Investor, start learning 8 rules of private investor, and start putting the knowledge in yourself, okay? Because then when the miracle will happen. And there is another way how I explain to people that you don't have to be super rich or millionaire to be in the rich class of the poor. You just have to simply look at your investment portfolio. And all of you have investment portfolios, even those who are having a job 9 to 5. That's how I look at it. Poor and middle class portfolio looks as I just now showing you. So you have your salary, that's one income stream, and you are investing in your pension. So you have kind of money coming right now every month because you're trading your time for the money. So that's one income stream, right? So your salary. And then you're investing not your time anymore, but you are investing your money into your pension. So I look at this as an investment portfolio. You might disagree with me, but that's how I look at it. And for me, it looks like very imbalanced portfolio. Why it's imbalanced? Because what if you stop trading your time for money, or you are not able to trade your time for the money? So basically, if you're not able to go to work, so you are losing your what? Your one income stream, okay? And then what happens? Are you getting something from your pension right now? Well, it depends on what kind of pension plan you have gone for, right? But most of the people are going for the pension plan that you will be paid out when you were, it depends on the country, 60, 63, 65 years old, okay? And every time, it actually, every year it goes like by 1 year later and later and later. Most likely, like kids that are born right now, there won't be such a pension fund anymore. I think, I don't know. Again, my that's my view. Okay, so we need to figure out how we can balance our portfolio a little bit better. Okay, so how we can do that is by creating more how to say, by creating more financial instruments. So we have to buy financial instruments, not just putting into pension, which is okay. Let's put it in a pension because some countries are like they're requiring you to put in a pension fund, right? But it's not only one instrument that you could potentially purchase with a little amount of money. You just have to do your research. I think it was last year in November, I went to the bank with my business account because there was some, some questions the bank wanted to ask about the business account. So I went to the bank, and there was in front of me a young lady sitting, and by the time she was on the phone, she was asking me, what is it that I'm doing? And I said, well, I'm in the wealth, like I'm a coach, wealth coach. And she was like, what does it mean? And I said, well, let me ask you, you work in a bank, okay? So you work in a bank, how many income streams do you have? She looked at me like, whoa. I was like, okay, you don't have to answer. I can tell you, you have only one income stream, correct? She was like, yes, I do. But I love savings. I was like, okay, great. So you have only one income stream, you work in a bank, you like savings. So what do you do with your savings? But I don't know where to invest. I was like, but do you even do your research where to invest your money? She's like, no. And now think about it. You work in a bank where you have investment department, and they don't even teach you how to make your money work for yourself. And then you, as a business person, go to the bank with your business account. Some people are going with like thousands and millions, but then in front of you have a person in the bank that doesn't even know how to protect her own money. Would you give your money to such person, to use your money or to help you with your bank account? And what I want to say, guys, to you is like the people that works in the bank not always knows everything. So be careful where you keep your money, because banks, I wouldn't say is well, again, it's my opinion, but I don't think the banks are the best places where to keep your money. Okay, banks are making money by you keeping the money there, but are they making money for you? Are they protecting your money? Well, that's a big question mark. Okay, so you have to put the knowledge, you have to invest in your knowledge, in your financial knowledge, to understand what other instruments are out there, and ask yourself why there is a banking industry that offers you these investment instruments so openly, right? But they are not making money so much to you. There must be something behind it. So think about it and think how you can start creating your portfolio that is more balanced. So in case you're losing your money, like not your money, but your one income stream, which is from trading your time for money, how can you be still kind of protected and guarantee that you will be able to feed yourself and pay your bills in case that happens? And obviously, in order to do so, we need to invest in our knowledge, and we need to learn at least the 8 rules of right investor, and we have to take them on board, and we have to practice them starting from today. Because when I learned first time 8 rules of right investor, I didn't pay attention to it. As I said, I was listening, but I didn't hear it. And that was my very, very big mistake at the beginning. You know, I passed the master prophet, I was listening to it, but I didn't hear what I was taught. Only from the second time, I start hearing it and I start practicing it. And those are two very important difference, you know, between the listening, who is listening to the webinars, and who are hearing what's said in the webinar, okay, or the training. So these are the 8 rules of right investor, guys, that you have to learn and master them. So first rule, what you need to learn about is understanding the terminology. I have realized that a lot of people these days don't even understand what is the financial freedom and independence. They think it's the same thing. You need to understand what are the assets and liabilities, and how many assets do you have right now, and how many liabilities you have, and what is the investment and investing. So let's have a look at the independence first. It is defined by the current assets a person has. So it is a situation when a person can cover monthly expenses and live like that for 10 consecutive years without degrading the quality of life. So this is determined like a description of the financial independence. But let's look at the calculation. And you may take now the numbers on the paper and start counting your independence. How can you do that? Count your expenses. If you know how much are your expenses, till the cents every month, then you are able to count your independence. Because a lot of people tells me these days that they are spending as much as they have earned. Why do you do that? Why don't you start controlling your expenses, not to spend everything you're earning, but actually to make sure that you have something left at the end of the month, not at the beginning of the month, but at the end of the month. And you can also, you know, put your money somewhere for it to grow. So you don't have to continuously spend the money or trade money for the money. So let's say your expenses are $1,000 a month, and then you have to multiply it by 12 months and then multiply by 10 years. Okay, so the result in this case would be $120,000, and this sum required to live at the current life level without working for 10 years. So if you do have this amount of money in your bank account today, then you are financially independent and you are able to live the current lifestyle for 10 years. But what will happen after 10 years, guys? How do you think? What will happen after 10 years if you continue? Maybe if the inflation doesn't, if it doesn't go up, then you will be, how to say, living less years with the same amount of money, okay? Or maybe you will have to spend less money to continuously live for 10 years. But if you want to be financially free or get the financial freedom, that's the best part. Because financial freedom, it means that you are free, right? You're free forever and ever. Because, you know, if you have this amount of money in your bank account, let me put here as the example, if you do have this amount of money today, you don't want it for it to sit in a bank. Remember, you don't want your money to sit in a bank, because the bank won't make money for you. Okay, they will make a lot of money from you, but you won't make a lot of money. And so what you would need to do is you would have to take your knowledge, take your, you know, everything that you learn and put it to practice. And what you would need to do is to find create your financial plan, which is another one of the roles that you will have to learn. You have to create your financial plan, and you need to figure out, okay, so for you to cover your monthly bills, you need to earn 10% annually, so that you can get $1,000 passively to pay for your expenses and, you know, cover whatever it is, you know, you need to cover every month. And as it says here, under such scenario, you can be unemployed for unlimited years. Here's the thing. If you will be earning passively $1,000, then your lifestyle will obviously continue the way it is for the rest of your life. But if you want to increase your lifestyle, if you want to go on holidays, you want to buy some I don't know, some new clothes and you want to go and enjoy your life, you know, go and, I don't know, do whatever you dream about, then you have to, you know, increase your assets, and you need to learn how to increase your passive income. So what you will need to do, obviously, you will have to create a financial plan that will increase your passive income from 10% annually to maybe 12% annually, or 15 or 20. So the more bigger percentage annually you will earn, obviously the more passive income you will get every month, which will cover your expenses and your lifestyle. Okay, I hope that makes sense and you understand the difference between the independence and your freedom. So what is the assets versus liabilities? Again, two things that most of the people are confusing together. They think that their car that is paid from their salary is their asset, or the house that is on mortgage and they live in the house is their asset. Actually, that's your liability. The moment all the things in your life are taking the money from your pocket, those are liabilities. Those are your expenses. But the moment the things in your life are putting the money in your pocket, right? So the same house and car can put the money in your pocket only in the case when you are renting it out, or, you know, people are coming and living in your house, either it's temporary or permanently, but in any way you are earning the money, then it's your asset. So what I would ask you to do, if you would love to, do your exercise and take the paper, put it on, kind of divide it in two halves. One side put the assets, another side put the liabilities, and write down all your assets and liabilities. And what you need to, like, in order for you to be in a rich class, a financial flow of the rich, you need to obviously have more assets and less liabilities. Okay, so if you have, let's say, 5 liabilities, then you probably will have to have 10 assets that will cover your liabilities. Okay. Investment tools. So investment tools or investment instruments are many out there. You know, we have 20 market segments that we are teaching in the academy, and obviously if you want to learn more about them, guys, then we do have you know, new education information products coming up very soon, which will in depth will explain each market segment. So we have 20 of those that are picked by our academy CEO Andre Cavrato. But in each market segment, like bank deposit or investment funds, real estate, those are the segments. In each segment there are multiple financial instruments that you know, has different more asset holders are wealthier. Exactly, Cisse. So, you know, you will need to study in each instrument to understand how this instrument will work for you. Okay, so you need to not blindly go and believe in everyone who tells you that this instrument gives you a high percentage. You need to go and do your due diligence. You need to understand what you need to look for, what are the criteria that you need to look for, and which instrument is good, which is not. And again, you cannot just blindly invest in and buy every instrument. You need to have your financial plan. If you don't have a financial plan, you don't know what percentage you need to earn per month or yearly, then you don't know whether this instrument is good for you or not. Okay, so again, this is something that we do explain in more details in our other courses available in our in Academy of Private Investor. Investing is a situation when you understand how your investment will work for you, how your investment will be, you know, bringing you the money from where, and what is the percentage, where the money is going to come from, you know, when it's going to be paid, how much is going to be paid. Okay. And as an example here, it says that imagine that $10,000 are invested in some in some instruments, then you have to take on a paper and do your calculation to understand, you know, what will be yearly percentage that this instrument will give it to you, and how much money you can take out every month, quarterly, or yearly. And obviously, as it says here, if you invest $10,000 and considering monthly capitalization in 20 years, yield percentage would be, and here are different percentages, 12% a year, 15%, 18, 24, 30% a year, then obviously return is higher and higher and higher. But please, before we are going for biggest percentages, because someone tells you that you can earn 4-6%, 4, I don't know, 6, sometimes I hear even 8% a day from one instrument, it's almost unreal. So be careful about that, guys. Do your due diligence, understand where the company is registered, who is behind it, what people are behind it, because before you're making that decision, okay? Because no one can take responsibility for your decisions, only yourself, okay? So don't believe blindly once again. So rule number 2, commandments. Save 10 to 30% from your income. It's, I guess, it's quite straightforward. We need to learn how to pay yourselves first before we are giving the money to someone else, okay? When I learned this 3 years ago, so 2016, 3 years ago, I learned how to pay myself first, even though I know I have paid all my taxes, so I haven't kind of got all the money I have earned, but the money I was earning, I didn't pay the bills and expenses before I have paid to myself. I started with 5%. And then initially I increased to, you know, more and more and more. Like now I save approximately 20% from my income, sometimes 25, depends on the months, but I do pay myself first. And that's the rule that I have stick and been committed for the last 3 years. And, you know, it's a great feeling because we need to award ourselves before we are giving our money like left and right now, but, you know, we have to pay for the bills. We cannot otherwise live normal life, I guess, but start paying yourself first. A lot of people have told me that, well, they don't have anything left at the end of the month. Okay, so let's start maybe instead of putting aside the money and paying to ourselves first, let's do for the first 1 or 2 months the exercise, which is start controlling your expenses. Start figuring out where exactly and how much you are spending your money. Instead of telling me that you pay for the food, for your travel, for the car, for whatever you're paying for, start, you know, figuring out how much exactly you're paying. Obviously, when the bills comes, you know how much is on the bill, what says on the bill. But when you're thinking about the food or the other coffees and teas and cigarettes or bits and bobs that you're buying every day, you know, £1 or dollar, whichever currency you're paying in the money you're spending, it sounds small amount, right? But collectively per month, you can, you know, spend a lot of money on the little things. So what I would suggest to you is start controlling your expenses. This is another exercise that I've been doing, and I can prove you guys I've been, you know, controlling my expenses, and it's very, very important because you can analyze your expenses, you can go back and you can figure out where you have overspent your money in the previous week, let's say, or previous 2 weeks, where you can kind of save a little bit more money or not spend so much money in order not to go over your budget and still being able to put aside 5 to 10% per month. And believe me, once you start controlling your expenses, then suddenly the money will come to you, and suddenly you will start seeing your money, and you will be happy to go to your bank account and have a look what it is left at the close to end of the month. Okay, then start protecting your money. Let's imagine that you have controlled your expenses and you have put aside your 5 to 10% every month, and you have saved some money, and then comes someone that needs the money because he hasn't learned all these rules yet. They don't know, you know, how to control their own money, and they know you have it, or you somehow have said like, oh my God, I know how to save the money now. And then you're borrowing the money to the person who doesn't know how to control your money. You know, how much, like, what is the possibility that you're going to get your money back? And I have been in this position. I have given the money to, you know, people that I think I know quite well, but then at the end of the day, I can say bye-bye to my money. It's just because, you know, you're in a different levels, I guess, of controlling and using your own money. And I've learned from my mistakes. Okay, so start protecting your money. Don't invest left and right, as I said. Don't invest because one auntie said it's going to be a great investment. Don't invest because someone tells you or comes to you suddenly on internet and randomly offers you some great opportunity of investment. Be careful. Okay, that's all I can say. Learn how to invest wisely. So obviously we need to learn how how we can invest. And there is, as Andre Havrato says, there are 7 world wonders that we know, old and new ones. But there is another one, eighth world wonder, which is the compounding interest. And when I find out about this compounding interest, I was blown away. You know, I could not imagine that there's something like that possible. Obviously, it's not like you're not going to type in on Google compound interest projects and they're going to pop up like thousands of them. You have to do your own research and you need to look for them, but they are out there. We just have to learn how to look for them, and then always learn to earn more. Obviously, figure out, you know, how you can earn more money from what you have earned, how to increase your assets, how to increase your portfolio based on your financial plan. Never stop. And this is the strict income and expense control example. Obviously, you can do in your app, you can do on a computer, you can do on a paper. However you feel comfortable. I've tried all 3 options, and I still find that my favorite way how to control my expenses is using this old it was given to me in 2016 when I first passed the Master Profit training. It was given to me and I really love it. It clearly states my budget, categories of income, and you can obviously add more or delete if you have less, and categories of my expenses per month, planned expenses, and deviation, which is mean how much is left from my budget that I have given to each category. And every day that comes to the commitment and your routine, part of, you know, your day routine. Before you go to sleep, what we do, we brush our teeth, we go to the shower. So why not to also put in our expense control sheet how much money we have spent on during that day, and then obviously start analyzing every week. And when it comes to it gets into routine, you can start analyzing every month, going back, seeing how much money you've spent, where have you spent, why did you spend so much, and then then do your analyze and make different maybe decisions the next month. Rule number 3 is the financial plan, which I have been already mentioning a couple of times. Before we invest, we need to know what is our goal. Obviously, we start with our dreams, we start with our goals, we start with our timelines. When do we want to have X amount of money? For what reasons? Instead of saying, I want to have $1 million by end of the year, that's not the answer. You need to analyze your dreams, your goals, and then you have to create a financial plan. Many people I know that they don't have financial plan and they are investing left and right without making any research, without doing all the previous things I told you already before. And then they are blaming all the financial world. They are blaming all the projects that they are all illegal, or they are just ruining other people's lives. But it's not the truth. It's about the knowledge which or information we are putting into before we are making decision. So the financial plan is really important. It's like as important as if you would want to build a house. You wouldn't start your house, I don't know, with a roof, or buying the windows when you don't even know how your house will look like. You're not going to go and buy materials before you know what materials you need, right? So you start with the plan. So you do draw the plan, and then once the plan is ready, you start buying things. You start investing in your house to build it with the strong foundation. So same here, guys. It's no different. You need to have a financial plan before you're starting, before you start investing your money in different instruments. And you need to know why you're investing and for how long, what sort of investment tools you need. Do you need for short term, you need medium term, or you need a long term? And obviously in my opinion, again, long-term investments are the best investments. That's, again, my opinion, all right? But that's my financial plan. I don't look for the short period, I look for the long period, because I know the longer I wait and for the longer period I create my investment portfolio, obviously the better result I will get. Because short-term, it could be maybe small amount of money that you need to get from the investment. Again, it depends on your financial plan, but you need to know that there are 3 types of financial plans: short, medium, and long term. Okay. And the financial plan, why do we need them? what is the difference between the financial plan and financial planning? Because there is also the reasons why we need to have financial plan. Financial plan is comprehensive evaluation of investment's current future financial state by using currently known variables to predict future cash flows, asset values, and withdrawal plans. So the financial plan, as I said, is something that you kind of foreseen, like not foreseen, but the end result you want to get, let's say by end of the year. So if, let's say, you want for the Christmas, on the Christmas you want to buy a car, as an example, I would love to, then I need to figure out how much the car costs, where can I get it, and based on my current availability of putting the money aside, and availability of creating both a kind of passive income or percentage of what I can earn every month, I will know what instruments I will have to buy in order to get this passive income. And financial planning will be an ongoing process to help you to make sensible decisions about money that can help you to achieve goals in life. And financial planning can be reviewed, I think, after a certain period of time, but you have to put this in the financial plan. So let's say if you're creating financial plans for 30 years, then let's say once you have reached certain years, so you have reached certain amount of money, you can review your financial plan and see, if there is anything you want to, I don't know, edit, add, change, or I don't know, whatever you want to do. Okay. But you have to, how to say, which is the next one of the rules, you have to stick then to your financial plan, and you cannot go in the middle of the financial plan and then suddenly change it, because I will tell you what can happen. Well, it didn't happen to me, but it did happen to our company CEO Andre Havrato. So why do you need it? You need the financial plan for your capital formation, for passive income, for accumulation for children's education, perhaps. You want to purchase real estate or car, as I mentioned. Opening your own business. A lot of people say, I have an amazing idea or ideas, but I don't have money and the bank doesn't give me the credit. Okay, so now we need to find another route, how to receive the money. We need to find another way how we can passively earn this money. So obviously via, investment, this is another way how we can increase our capital. So for those who want to open your business, you just have to figure out how much money do you need to start your business, and what is the time frame, when you would love to start the business. Because a lot of people say, I have an idea, I don't have a money, and they don't even know when they would love to start the business. So you have to be very, very precise, and you have to be very clear on your goals and your dreams. Providing a pension, or perhaps you don't want to wait till 60s and you want to be go in a kind of a pension at the age of 30 or 40. So that's another option. Why would you need to create your financial plan? And inheritance capital, so you can create something that you can leave behind. And there probably might be many more reasons why we need a financial plan. Then fourth rule is diversification. Do not put all eggs in one basket. I think it's quite straightforward. If we don't have financial plan, if you don't have the knowledge, and we go for the big percentage without understanding how the money will work for us and who is standing behind, and you have saved your money and you put in one basket or in one financial instrument because it looked very, very good and attractive, but there was something that you didn't see, or there was a big high kind of risk investment, then you may be in a position that you might lose everything. And we don't want that, right? We want to protect our money, because investors, one of the investors' rules is to preserve or protect the money by diversifying it and then multiplying it. So we don't want to put all eggs in one basket, even if that percent looks really attractive and juicy. Okay, don't do that. We need to diversify our portfolio as much as we can across many market segments. But again, as Andre Havrato says, don't invest in instrument or market segment that you don't understand or you're not passionate about, because you do have to follow, what's happening with your investment. Don't just invest and after 5 years saying what happens to my investment, because it does happen, in today's life, when people remember that 5 years ago they invested somewhere, 2 years ago they invested somewhere, and now they are in a position that they need money. They are in need to have money because they have something happen in their life. So now they are trying to figure out where they have put or invest in their money, but they have no idea what's happening with it. So don't invest in instruments that you're not passionate about, you don't want to follow, and you're just following some friends. That's a wrong decision. Okay. So rule number 5 is investment discipline. Stick to the plan, as I said before. If you have your investment plan and you have created it for 5 years, for 1 year, 5, 10, 30 years, doesn't matter. You have written it down, you know, you have made your calculation, you know how much money you have to put every month aside, or you need to, let's say, I stick to my plan that I want to buy 12 instruments every year because there are 12 months. Per year. So I want to buy 12 instruments every year. So that way in 2 years time, I will have 24 instruments. Maybe next year I will put the goal to buy 2 instruments per month, right? And I will stick to it. And I will obviously, by looking at my financial plan, I know what kind of, or I can kind of think about instruments that will be good to my portfolio. And I will stick to my plan. I will stick to my discipline, because if you don't stick to discipline, it leads to the greediness, and it leads to the bankruptcy, obviously. The rule number 6, don't be greedy, because Andrei Havratov's very bright example was that there was a property market at some point, I think in 2011 or earlier, was going up, and he was seeing like, oh my God, I can earn so much money from this market segment. So I will take 90% of my assets and I will sell them and I will put it in the property market. And what happened? Obviously, boof, one day it crashed down and he lost almost everything. So we need to learn from our mistakes. Definitely don't be greedy. Stick to your plan. Have your financial plan. Do your diversification. If you're a beginner, start putting aside no more than 10%. Eventually you can increase to 30 and 50%, but start with those 5 to 10%. Okay. And let's not be greedy because someone on Telegram sends you, some random message, come and invest in this platform and you're going to earn, 4 to 6 to 8%. I've seen 8% per day. It's most of the times it's not real. Okay. I'm not saying all of them, but in the cases that I have tried out these kind of platforms, I have lost my money. Okay. But I knew, what risk I'm taking. Again, I'm speaking from my personal experience. Rule number 7, education and self-development. So the key to success is when you start investing in yourself before you're investing somewhere else. Because a lot of people want to make a lot of money and then they want to learn how to invest. No, you need to invest in yourself. You need to learn how to invest, and then you will be earning more money. Okay, because without the education and information, we will most likely be we will be led into some wrong decision. Okay, so education and self-development is the key. So invest in yourself, guys. Continuously invest. I remember someone in London once, very young guy came to me and he said, I don't need this education. I just want that, right? Whatever bonus we get. And he was young. And I said, what do you mean you don't need it? You know everything? He was like, I know everything. I was like, how? Like, how old are you? Because I was shocked, when we look at, I was looking today at the statistics. Well, Warren Buffett spent 5 to 6 hours a day reading 5 newspapers and 500 pages of corporate reports. Bill Gates reads 50 books a year, and Elon Musk grew up reading 2 books a day, according to his brother. So those people who are very wealthy, they are still educating themselves. They are still buying, probably buying or at least reading, different sources of information, and they're continuously being upgraded of what's happening in the world, because the world is changing, economy is changing. Things that happened maybe last year is not relevant this year, or this year is completely different to other years. And we know how the technologies are developing and changing. So we need to continuously invest in ourselves. And ask yourself, guys, when was the last time you invested in an education? Either in academy, that's one source. Have you invested in any books, any other courses outside this academy? And how much you have taken it on board and have to practice it. I'm reading books. I have books everywhere, in my bag, on my, next to my bed, on my phone, and I have courses that I have to complete. I can continuously, trying to kind of grab the information. I want to be like a little baby, you know, whose brain is just transforming, because I want to transform my thinking and I want to continuously be growing and growing and growing. And as a leader, you always have to be a step ahead to your partners, because that's the only way you can lead. So, you know, start with self-education and self-development, guys, because once you start changing your thinking, everything else starts changing around us. Okay. And rule number 8 is always multiply your investment profit. Create different income streams. That's simple. If you can earn 100,000, let's say 10,000 a year, start finding how you can potentially earn 50,000 and 100,000 and so on, so on, so on. Because there is always there is a saying that there's never enough, right? But if you feel it's enough, that's great. But if you want to increase your lifestyle, if you want to, you know, travel more, if you want to have a better life to your kids or your to family or whatever it is, always multiply your investment profit. If you have get to the financial, you know, financial plan that you have completed or nearly completed and you want to renew it, then have a look what is it that you can put aside after, I don't know, after 1 year or after 5 years, and continuously, you know, find ways how you can increase your profit. I'm going to try to go quickly through the next bits and pieces, but age rules of private investor was the most important rules that I wanted you to hear. And I want you to go and do a more detailed information, because internet and YouTube is full of, you know, Andrew Havrato professional videos where he's explaining in details. We have this information written and recorded in our back office, so you can go and get this information out there as well. And we have little booklets as well. So basically, guys, learn these age rules of private investor and start practicing them. Okay, so what is the eighth wonder of the world in the world of finance? Again, that was difficult to say. It was compounding percent against the accumulative percentage. So compounding interest is the additional interest to the principal amount of the loan or deposit, or in other words, interest on interest. I will show you in an example how you can do your calculation, but basically this is the result of reinvestment of interest. So let's say if you do put aside 10% of your income, and let's say your annual maybe monthly percentage will be, say, 8%. So your 10%, let's say $100 plus 8%, your end results at the end of the month. And this is the result at the end of the month. You don't take out, you know, you don't spend it, but you're reinvesting back, plus again your 10% and your plus 8% the second month. And again, end result, you're reinvesting, and you continuously do this way for whatever financial plan is telling you to do. Okay, cumulative interest is what normally we get into as an offer in the banks. This is the sum of all interest payments on the loan for a certain period of time. So basically, if I don't know if you have ever tried, but in a bank you can go and put in deposit, like I think, I don't know, maybe in each country is different, but from a couple of thousands to probably hundreds of thousands of dollars or pounds or euros per year, or 2 years or 5 years, and they tells you how much money you can earn at the end of the month. Percentage, obviously there won't be like massive, but kind of, they say it's kind of guaranteed, but there is no guarantees in the world. But basically you put aside, let's say 10,000 for 1 year, and they give you back your 10,000 and maybe extra 1,000 at the end of the year. So that's a cumulative interest. So we want to try to do the research and find out more about compounding interest projects where they are giving you such offer. And here is an example. And again, guys, if you hear the compounding interest for the first time and this is something new for you, we do have different programs where obviously you can go and do more detailed, get more detailed information and practical sessions with our coaches. But we have limited time today. So let's say your salary is 100 euros, investment amount here it says 10%. So the second rule of commandment, first commandment is to put aside 10 to 30%. So let's say you hit 10%, you put aside, which is 10 euros per month. And that's what you do for 10 years. At the end of the 10 years, by reinvesting your each month's result, you get to 1.3 million at the end of the 10 years. Okay, that's if you're taking that 8%, you're earning, you have created your investment portfolio, which brings you 8% yield every month. Okay, if you look at the bigger salaries, 200 euro, 300, 400, and so on, but percentage stays the same. Obviously 10% stays the same, but obviously the more you earn, 10% goes bigger, it grows bigger. So it would be 20 euros or 30 euros. And you can see that the more you are able to put aside, according to the rules, okay, not because we are greedy, but according to our rules, if you follow the rules, then let's say at this amount of salary you get to 1 million in 9 years. Here you get between 8 and 9 years. If you look at the 300 euro salary, if you're looking at 400 euro salary, then look what the jump it is between the year 8 and 9. So here you're nearly to 1 million. Here you're over 2 million euros, and with 500, and obviously with biggest percentage here, you can see 10 and 30% is even bigger. It might be a little bit confusing at this stage, but do your due diligence. Compounding interest, put it in a YouTube. I'm sure there will be a lot of explanations for you to understand. Yeah, the more you learn, the more you will earn. Exactly. You know, never stop learning. Capitalization, basis of capital, and these are the guys, basic terminologies and basic things that you need to be familiar with if you want to, you know, start a journey as the investor. Okay, so the term of capitalization comes from the world of capital, obviously. Therefore, it would be useful to understand the meaning of the word capital. The term capital in the accounting literature means the equity of the company, and net worth means the assets less liabilities, or assets minus liabilities. So whatever assets you have, you kind of minus all your liabilities, and that would be your net worth. So once you are Googling like net worth of Apple, net worth of, I don't know, Microsoft or other big companies, then you understand that, you know, this is when they have calculated all the assets they have and minus their liabilities. Here is another example for those who love saving the money and they've been saving for maybe a couple of years, or, you know, just starting the saving in a sock or under the pillow, or for those, or versus those who are educating themselves, who are investing in their knowledge, and they know how they can potentially create their portfolio in order to grow their money. Okay, so here is an example. If you're saving $1 a day for 30 days, obviously that would be $30 per month. If we then calculate the $30 per 30 years, it would be, well, 30 times 12 times 30 years, it would be $10,800 at the end of 30 years. As you can see on the scale here, if you keep saving your money, putting aside $30 every month for 30 years, at the end of the 30 years, you will get $10,800. But now let's have a look. Let's have a look now in the case for the person who, let's say, have passed the academy, learn 8 rules of private investor, and they want to invest their money so the money can grow for them. So let's say if you're investing every 30 days, you're investing your money on 12% per year, which would be 1% per month. Then in 30 years, look, your income, your capital income will grow to $105,897. Okay, so this is when you are investing the same $30 for 30 years with the 12% per year, your money will grow for you. So you are going to work, yeah, you're trading your time for money, you're getting your salary, let's say $300, and you put aside 10% for 30 years and you're investing it. So that's where you can get $105,897, but you have invested only $10,800. And your capitalization is when you take your capital income minus your invested amount of money, and you get the capitalization, your net worth. So basically, kind of, you know, what you have earned minus your income, you get your pure money, which has been accumulated with the investment. So 12% for 30 years, this is the amount of money. And you decide, guys, whichever, you know, you like the best. If you don't want to learn and if you just want to save money, then you can continuously do that. But if you want your money to work for you, you have to invest in your knowledge. Yeah. So there is an example. What will be the savings for of Mr. X and Mr. Y at the end of the term? if each of them investing for obviously different terms for different years and different amount of money. So let's say Peter X is investing since 1986 and saved $200, and he been saving for 30 years. So calculate how much money Mr. Peter X will have at the end of 30 years, and the same do with the Peter Y. When he's investing $400 every month for 20 years, so how much money he will get? So which of them will earn the most of the money, Peter X or Peter Y? All you have to do is take the calculation, do 200 times 12 times 30, and you will get the result. And then you do the same with Peter Y, 400 times 12 and times 20. So who can tell me which of them will earn the most money at the end of their savings, when they stop saving after 30 years or 20 years? Peter X or Peter Y? How do you think? Put in the chat. Who is the most active one here? Or you're already sleeping or just listening? Peter X. Okay, Sydney, thank you for the answer. Mr. Y, okay. X, Peter. Okay, Peter is Y. Okay, I can see you do some calculations. Good. Okay, guys, so if you're taking 200 times 12 times 30, you will get 72,000. But if you get 400 times 12 times 20, it would be 96,000. See? So Peter Y would earn more money because obviously he's putting aside more money, even though he's saving for less amount of time. But if you're going back and look at the other question, if you're looking at the other question, which was, what will be the return by the end of 2016 if they both invest in the same instrument with 8% per annum? So that's when the game changes, okay? If here, by just investing, Peter Y was earning the most, then if there is investment involved, then Peter X will be earning more money than Peter Y, and quite significantly different. Why? Because Mr. X started to invest earlier than Peter Y, even though Peter Y was putting aside more money than Peter X. So what does it say to us, guys? The earlier we start, the more we will earn. Obviously, it's never too late to start, but if we're just gonna save, this is going to happen, okay? If we're gonna just save, this is the amount of money we will be earning. If we are learning how to invest our money, then we can, from the least saved money, we can be the most saved or earned money, like the person who will earn the most of the money. So we need to understand, who is going to earn, how we can start today and what we need to do today to start saving our money and investing our money. Okay, I can see Sydney has a how you say, aha moment. Aha moment. Okay, so I hope you get it, guys. If not, then obviously we can meet another time and I can try to explain once again, but we have to keep going. So here's another thing that you need to do then afterwards. You need to understand what is your capitalization. So here it is again. So you need to take the amount of money that you have earned by 2016, okay, in 30 years, you earned 281,000. Then you have to minus the amount of money you have actually invested, which is 72,000. And you can see if the person invests the $30 with 8% per annum, then they will earn $209,000 in 20 years time. That's a lot of money. It's a big difference. So think about it, guys. Think about it. Okay, and this is not just one instrument. These are multiple instruments across different market segments. Okay, and that's a long time. That's a long time financial plan that's been created here. And here's your homework. So do what you need to do. Take all the incomes, put together, count together, whatever amount it is. For each of us is different. Then decide how much money you can put aside, 5, 10%, 20%. But do your calculation before you're making actions, okay? Start with a pen and paper and calculator, or do your math on an Excel sheet if you know how to put the formulas, and do your calculation, okay? Do that first, play with the numbers, and then find out, let's say, put aside 10%, then try to put aside, I don't know, start with 5% and 10%, 15%, and see, you know, what is it that, or what percentage you can potentially, by taking on board all the education and knowledge you have, what percentage you could potentially create per annum, okay? So here's 12% per annum, taking that you're investing $100 or 100 euros every month. 12% per annum is 1% per month. So $100, 100 euros you're investing in the first month. So 1% per month is $1 here, or €1 here. So accumulated earnings will be 101. So again, this money you're not taking out, what you do, you do invest, reinvest, okay? You reinvest, but here's 201. What did you do again? Again, the next month comes, the salary comes again, you put 10% aside. Now it's 201 that you start your month. This is compounding interest, guys. The same 1% has turned now into €2, not €1 anymore, €2. So accumulated interest is 203, and you keep going. So whatever financial plan you create, it's for 25 years, for 30 years, for 10 years, whatever amount of money you want to earn at the specific period of time. And each of us has different financial plan. That's what the secret is, guys. We cannot follow everyone's decisions, what they have made by buying different instruments. You have to know what is your financial plan before you're making decision where to invest. Okay, if you don't have financial plan and you blindly follow someone and you lose your money, you can blame only yourself. Okay, so follow the rules, follow the rules the way they are written, understand them, and then start practicing it. And you will see that there will be a difference coming into your financial world. And do your own practice. Okay, so what to do in next in order to live your dream life in the next 3 months? What I did, I start dreaming. That's the first thing. I start putting the dreams on a paper or in my dream board. I start figuring out how much my dream costs, and I start believing in my dreams, in my ability, to get to my dreams. And then that was the island on which I wanted to live. Remember I told you the island at the beginning? This is the dream board, was my island, and understanding and visioning what kind of life I want to achieve. Instead of wishing to earn 1 million or 10,000 or 100,000, some random numbers per month, I start analyzing myself and my dreams. What is it that I really truly want? I don't want those millions in my account or thousands in my account. I want those dreams to come true. So start dreaming big. If you want to earn 10,000 and because you want to go and buy, I don't know, Peugeot, start dreaming to buy Bentley. Start dreaming big, because you have to train your subconscious mind. You have to re-record your subconscious mind with the new information, with fresh information, with the information that will help you to get, to make you successful and to start living the life instead of, trying to survive your life. We don't want to survive. We want to live the life. Okay. And then once you have, understanding of, what the dreams looks like, how much they cost, when you want to achieve them, then start putting in place the 8 rules of private investor. Okay. That's the only, I think, in my opinion, again, way to get out of the situation you might be today and where you want to go, because it helped me, it changed my life, and it has changed many people's lives that I know around me, just because we accepted that we don't know everything. I didn't know everything, and I still don't know everything. I'm still learning, and I'm still educating myself. And that's why I call myself a student. I'm the student of life. My life, everything that happens around me is my journey, and I'm learning this journey. I'm not just living the life, I'm analyzing the life. I'm analyzing what happens in my life. I'm analyzing all the things that happens to me, and I'm trying to figure out what is it that I can learn from it. And I do recommend for you guys to do the same. Start dreaming, start believing your abilities to achieve those dreams, and don't listen to those people who say to you that these dreams are too big, or what have you thought, like why you even think about these kind of things, or you're not able to do that. I had that situation. People were trying to hold me back instead of pushing me forward. So don't allow these people to impact your thinking, and don't allow these people to stay where you are right now. You have to surround yourself with people that can lift you, those people that can, you know, help you and support you, those people who can give you the energy and that, you know, those vibrations and everything that you need to kind of to move forward, because that's very important. Don't allow anyone to stop you, you know, to achieving your dreams, and start believing yourself more than ever, because these are the times that you have to do that. No one else will do this for you, and you will be able to live, you know, the life of, you know, that you've been dreaming about. And if you haven't been dreaming about your dream life, then start doing it today before you go to sleep. What I do, guys, and I do recommend for you to do it as well, I'm speaking from my experience again. Look, I'm writing down every day, well, almost every day, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm writing down the things I'm grateful for. I'm writing down the things that I truly want, what I have experienced. And at the end of my book, I'm writing gratefulness every day, what I'm grateful for. And so many things are coming my way. The universe is working my way as well, guys. So it does work. So as I said, actions will speak louder, louder than words. So learn 8 rules of Private Investor today. Apply these rules in your life every day, every minute. Share these rules with 5 people. Just go out there and share with them. And then by practicing him, that you can speak from your experience, and they will ask you naturally, where did you learn all of this? What book did you read? What course did you finish? I'm telling you, that will happen. Keep learning about the financial world. Read books, read articles, you know, instead of looking in the social media, tea or water, and spend first half an hour, 1 hour of your time in the morning to read what's happening in the world, in the financial world. Okay, so you're educating yourself, and start creating your passive income. By what? By applying 8 rules of Private Investor, sticking and committing to them. And, you know, once you have created one income stream, start creating second, the third, the fourth, the fifth. And the more you have, the better life will be. And that's it from my side today, guys. I nearly fit in 1 hour, but I'm really, truly happy that I had this opportunity. Thanks to Elena and Mo for inviting me. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something today, for those who maybe hear this for the first time or second time, because as I said, sometimes we listen, sometimes, yeah, we do listen, kind of we heard about 8 rules of Private Investor, but there is something that triggers us to hear something more another day than it was before. This is what happens sometimes with the book, with the movies that I watch, rewatch or reread. I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, I read this book for the 3rd time, but I didn't see this before. You know, how come it was in front of me, but I didn't even, my eye didn't catch that. So I hope you enjoyed this, guys, and I wish you a good night or good day, good morning, whichever part of the world you are. And I hope to see you very soon once again. Okay, thank you very much. And all the love to you guys. Keep safe and healthy.